As I said, I'm gonna make a video about Philippines today, so I'm making one. So we're gonna look at Philippines, exactly how those people live and how the population is in numbers. So let's start with the population. Now, Philippines has a population around 116 million people and still rising, which is insane, but the growing rate pretty much goes down. Now look at this, 1955, 22 million people were in that country with a growing rate around 4%. That will translate roughly in 800,000 people net increase, and they have 112,000 people coming to the country, migrating. Median age was around 15 years old, fertility rate one of those nonsense, 7 in this case, and urban population around 27-28%. Global rank 23. Now 2025, you're gonna see the population insanely increase almost by 100 million people. So 116,000 people and still rising. The growing rate is around 0.8%, but they are still roughly the same net increase, around 940,000 people. But this time 150,000 people leave the country. As you can see here, from pretty much the entire history, people choose to leave the country. So they go there, they multiply themselves, and then say, fuck it, we're going outside. It's too fucked up here. Now, we're gonna see exactly how those people live, if they are right or not, so keep some patience. Median age now 26 years old, which is not so bad. Fertility rate 1.9. So yeah, clearly they got some sense into their brains and say, fuck it, that was insanely high, let's go down now. They got below replacement around the pandemic, around 2022, so at least they figured out that, which is again pretty decent. Urban population around 50%, and global rank right now 14. So yeah, they're doing pretty well. Now in 2050, they say it's going to be 134 million people. They're still growing, and the yearly change around 0.3%. Net increase is going to be around 370,000, and people still choose to leave the country. So clearly things cannot get well there. 100,000 people choose to leave every single year. Median age around 36 years old. Fertility rate 1.7. So not that much insane. Urban population 70%, and global rank still maintaining at the 14. So yeah, good luck with that. Well, let's see the life expectancy here, which is, I say, pretty decent. 70 years old for both sexes, female 73, male 67, which is pretty much the right age to die, I would say. Infant mortality rate 19.4, and death under age of 5, 26. So no mention it, but I have to say it, pretty much no medical system whatsoever. So yeah, that was the insane population. You can see the base very solid. A lot of male surplus here. I highly doubt that those are from migrants, because so many people choose to leave the country. I'm not sure if that many people are going to choose to come in the country to work. So yeah, I'm not sure about that, but a lot of male surplus, as you can see here. Economy, you can say those nice images from the above, and probably when you go down it's going to be worst. For 114 million people, as they said right there, population still increased a bit. The GDP is only half of the trillion, which is not that much for that many people, I would say, and 1.5 trillion in PPP. Growing rate is pretty solid at over 5%, which is good for them, but per capita GDP it's less than 5,000 US dollars, which is insane, and PPP around 13,000, so not that much there. Agriculture 8%, okay, that's the problem. Industry 29, pretty decent, and services 62, pretty low. Yeah, that's how things going here. And corruption index, as you can see here, is not also too well. When you look at the Philippines, and let me see them, where exactly they are. Philippines right here, only 33, and just increased one position, so very corrupt country. Well, historically, pretty interesting. Actually, you can see here, they was under the US government on some time ago, but they got independence. But for the pretty much entire recent history, they got pretty much a Spanish influence, Spanish colony, Spanish governments, let's call it like that. So you can see exactly why they failed today. So that's why it's so fucked up today, probably because the Spanish. But now the main event, let's look at how those people actually live. As always, we're gonna go randomly on the map. It's a huge country with a huge population, so I'm not gonna go that much in detail. So let's just dive in. Let's hope we're gonna find actually something pretty nice, but I highly doubt that. The only thing that I like here are those banana trees, but I don't see banana into it, so yeah, that's kind of fucked up. Roads, well, so far pretty decent. They're one of those concrete roads, so they can pretty much last forever, I would say. Architecture, well, not so well so far, but we are just the beginning. I like those plants here, pretty nice. Keep in mind, over 100 million people in this country and still rising. Oh, this is a nice house here, actually. That's a nice one. And look at those banana trees, and here they have those bananas when they are gonna grow. So yeah, they have bananas. Look at this right here. So it's nice. It is nice to see them. I am curious because in this region of the world there's so many banana trees, as we saw, how cheap they can be. Actually pretty cheap. Obviously they cannot be too expensive. Somebody throw a lot of tea, I think, here. How much you gonna pay for 1 kilo of bananas? They cannot be there. Even here in Europe, in my country, it's like €1 or something like that for 1 kilo. So there probably is like 10 cents or even less than that. Probably don't even sell it. It's just growing everywhere. Don't need it. That. Ooh, that's a nice modern house here. Ooh, someone rich lives here. Let's check on this side. Oh yeah, very rich person compared with the view on the other side is not that well, so probably I will make this fence even taller, so no. Actually there's nothing better to see on the other side. Let's check some other. This one was actually pretty decent, I have to say. I kind of like it. You know what, they start pretty well. This one not so much. What the fuck is that? Again, they have a lot of people, so I'm not imagining those people are gonna do that well even in the future when you have that low of the GDP per capita and that many people. But this is from the European perspective, from the Western one. For their perspective, probably that is pretty good. I mean, look at this. The road so far pretty nice. This one has an ice cream or whatever has in her hands. Houses, yeah, pretty fucked up so far with a few exceptions. This one, I have no idea why they put those grills, those bars here. Just what, they're afraid the people are gonna jump? Or is it a prison and I'm not seeing that? The building is not so bad actually, but those bars just fuck her up pretty good. You know what? Yeah, those houses, clearly they have that South America vibe. So yeah, you can clearly see a Spanish colony. No matter what you do in this world, you're gonna have the, obviously, from the British one to the Spanish one. It's just so clear. Those narrow roads, though, the same houses pretty much everywhere. A lot of bars on the windows. Probably a lot of crime too. So yeah, it just gives you that vibe, that South America, just the way it is, I guess. Otherwise, the road again not so bad. I'm not sure if they have a good neighborhood or at least a very nice one, but they have expensive car for whatever reason, so clearly those people have to go. The same things apply, probably they go working outside and they send the money back home 100%. I like this tree, that's a pretty nice one, and this is how they can afford those expensive cars, I assume. Otherwise, with what's happening in the country, if those numbers are actually accurate, what is this? Some sort of the advertisement? With what's happening here, if those numbers are actually accurate, and this is from 2024, so very recently, you cannot afford all those things with how much they gonna pay them, like $100 a month, $200 a month, who knows. That house is not gonna be cheap. Look at this, and just looking better than a lot of houses. So yeah, a lot of people, I would say, and probably this one is actually a decent neighborhood, I would say. A lot of them, they're working outside the country, which is the way it is. What the fuck, they have the barbed wire here. So clearly a South American influence. Oh my god, so cringy at some point. Let's see some other areas because like I said, it's a huge country. I'm gonna stay a while here. Let's go to the beach. I expect the beach to be absolutely impeccable. So let me see if I can find a 360, but I can't. So let's go to this, whatever region is this one. Roads again. I kind of like those concrete roads. Like I said, just can last a long time and don't need that maintenance. And they use a lot of scooters, so a lot of light vehicles. So it's not gonna damage that much. That's a nice Suzuki. I found a banana. No, it's a palm tree. Yeah, and no banana trees. No banana trees. No banana trees. No banana trees. No trees. No bananas. This is probably the medical. Oh, not the police station. Ooh. They have police days of a national, remember? Ooh, they speak a lot of English here. I'm not sure exactly what's the official language. Is English or what? Or Filipino, whatever they have there, but clearly they speak very well English, I would say. Everything pretty much is in English so far. Okay, not National High School. Yeah, actually it is in English. So yeah, you see some very, this is gonna be like American influence here, not a British one. So yeah, but you know what, it doesn't look that bad so far, I have to say. I expected so worst when I saw that GDP per capita, but clearly they can make it work with less. So good for them, I would say, so far. Yeah, again, they kind of cheat because they go outside to work and all that stuff, but hey, can't blame them. They find a way to make your life better. Fuck it. It's pretty decent, let's say. But yeah, here like those garbage. No, thank you. No, thank you. This is a store, convenience store, I guess. And ooh, those are some rice here. Ooh. I would say a bit close to that house with that much water, but hey, I guess they don't care about mold and stuff like that, so fuck it. Yeah, those houses, you know what, it's not actually bad, but as you can see, what the fuck happened here? Products available here. Yeah, so a lot of English, which is good for them. Those type of houses, so big, so not my thing, but look at this. A lot of people are rich here. A lot of people are doing very well in Philippines, which is good for them, I would say. Ooh, what's one of those playground outside or cover it wherever. Yeah, the main problem I would say is that insane huge population. If there will be like 10 times less than they are today, the life is gonna be way better. Let's check those banana trees. They have bananas or not? Ooh, I can't see. Oh, look at this. This is the one. It's where the banana is gonna come from there. Yes, and I just plant my banana trees. Hopefully it's gonna make it. So yeah, we will see about that. Wow, a lot of new construction, I have to say. A lot of houses that they're clearly brand new, and we're just going randomly on the map. Like I said, we don't choose to see anything specifically, and they doing very well. Let's check this one. It's just a bit too jammed together in my opinion, but those are expensive cars, by the way. This is a pretty much, I think, a Toyota Hilux, not a Toyota Hilux, that, but something very similar to that. Big houses, probably they are at some point, I want to be exaggerated, but probably at some point there are more Filipinos living outside the country than are living in the country. Wow, that's an expensive fort. So where do they have the money for those cars? You know what? Actually, they're not doing bad at all. But again, it's kind of a fake economy in my opinion, because clearly a lot of the economy is on the black market, 100%. 100%, a lot of them are on the black market. Look at this. There is no way you can build and have that many things with less than 5,000 US per capita. There is no way. Just the way it is. Even this car alone is like 30 or 40 grand. So, I'm not getting fooled by that. But again, for their perspective, for their standard of living, they doing pretty well. Look at this, those are nice new houses. Come on. Well, maybe not that nice, but definitely a new one. It's a front beach property. What more can you want? Come on. Oh, what the fuck happened here? But you know what? Ooh, this one actually has a very nice front yard, whatever that is. Yeah, but those ones looks kind of rough. Looks very prehistoric what's happened here. Yeah, they doing actually pretty well here. Let's check some other ads. Like I said, there's so many things we need to check, so I have to move as fast as I can, otherwise this video is gonna be like 4 hours at least. So I'm not gonna stay that much. There's some goats here, they're doing pretty decent. Except they are tied to that tree, otherwise they will do pretty nice. Here clearly not such a rich area, but still they have more space between the buildings, I would say. A lot of garbage here, which I don't like it. And I can find banana trees, so that's actually a huge problem. Why they do not have banana trees here? Yeah, clearly a much poorer population. Now I expect like most of the people living similar condition like that, all very jammed together in a big cities, but yeah, it's pretty much like this. Maybe that the northern part of the island was actually pretty rich and this one not so much, but still pretty decent even here, I would say. You know, it does have some nice interesting vibe. Not a very rich one, but again, the problem, like I say, is maybe now the population, you know, the fertility rate stabilized, but what happened in a few decades ago and how much they increase so fast, and so many islands here. I mean, like, how easy is to govern this country? And just look at this, just people everywhere. What's happened a few decades ago, and now you can see how bad things are because the population mostly. But again, they export most likely a lot of cheap labors. I see some bananas here. I can looking for a price, but I don't think they have a tag price to see exactly how much they cost. They have two types here. They have the black one, the green one, and the yellow one. Here in Europe we have the yellow and the green one. We don't have those black ones. Those are very small. We have some small ones, but I've never tried. So yeah, a lot of bananas here. A lot of expensive cars too. That's an expensive Honda right there. So yeah, they clearly work outside the country 100%. So can you imagine have so many people working outside the country, and when they go to those country, the country that they're working, let's say like Greece, Germany, Spain, whatever, US, they count them as the own population well, and this is how you end up with those insane numbers. So probably the world population is actually smaller, much smaller than they say. That's a interesting thought, don't you think so? But that would be insanely hard to prove. So yeah, this one doesn't look to have that much population, but ooh, look at those roads, which I like so much. Those, look at this. This is a pandemic time, by the way. So yeah, no helmets. So and also high heels, but no helmets. That's the point in this one. So a lot of freedoms, which I like that. Very well, very good for them. Very good. Selecta. Ooh, some nice ice cream here. That's why I like to do those videos. Just always find interesting thing no matter where you go. Always gonna find something. And some banana trees. Here we have bananas. The road is closed or what? What's happening here? Why is this line closed? What is going on in here? Why? It's just for the locals only? Because of the pandemic? That's kind of fucked up. Where are the bananas here? Probably they sell them already, so yeah, or they eat them. The road actually is pretty wow, I would say pretty interesting. That wide and with not that much traffic here. I'm not sure why they make it so wide. Let's check this one. Not that many 360 on the beach, or at least you don't actually look too hard into it, but yeah, clearly I can see that Spanish vibe. I would say, like, if you show me this one, I'll probably say like, oh, South America or something like that. So yeah, you can see that. Now, how poor those people actually are, well, I believe a lot of them are 100% that GDP. Not everybody working outside the country, but those who do, they doing tremendous well. 100% they doing very well, especially if you have like one or two members of the family. I never saw a gas station that close to the beach in my entire life. What is happening here? Look at this. It's just pretty much a gas station on the beach, on the short line. That's actually on the short line right here. If you have, let's say, some strong winds, you're gonna have water inside your petrol reservoirs. That was actually a premiere, let's call it like that. Never saw something like that close to the short line. See, always gonna find interesting stuff. I start to really digging those concrete roads. I think they're concrete, this one at least. When I have those lines, it's just much more durable, probably a bit more expensive, I'm not sure, but in the long run probably it's gonna pay off. Their surface is gonna be obviously much more rough, and even here when they have those potholes, you still have to fix them with a regular bitumen, tarmac, whatever they call it here. So yeah, the money is still gonna pour in, but at least it looks better, I would say, in my opinion. But probably they are much better suited for those motorcycle and bicycle, those two wheels vehicles, because of the weight. And also you don't have four wheels to just make him a lot of noise when you go on those grooms or whatever they call it. Wow, that's a nice tree. Let me see this one. That's a huge banana tree. Wow. I think it's a banana tree. I hope I'm not mistaken it. Yeah, those are expensive cars. Ooh, look at this Nissan. I don't know which model it is, but it's expensive. I'm not sure how the house it is. Maybe it's just this house or not, but even this house looks pretty nice. Hopefully it's that one. Who knows? They're doing pretty well. Again, if here you can see immediately which one is working outside. This one, wow, that's a brand new vehicle. Probably it's an electric one. And they have another two inside. What? The house, yeah, it's in construction, I would say, but they like cars here. They're doing very well in Philippines. So see, that's why it's gonna be rough to make a stable. Just look at those numbers at the GDP and population and say, yeah, very low GDP per capita. Definitely they're gonna do extremely poor here. But no, they're doing actually, again, not all of them, but they're doing pretty good. I believe they're doing even better. We're gonna go more in detail in South America, but I believe they're doing better than most South Americans so far. I make a few countries and I don't remember doing better than those guys. I don't remember it. That's a nice house there. Again, look at those highways, whatever they are, like 2 lanes on one way. Not that many people are gonna use them, obviously, judging by that. But this is 2025, so very recently. But at least that's nice to have. When such a huge population, it's better to have than need it and not have it. You know what? I am so far quite impressed, I have to say. Philippines, it might be a good destination vacation. Who thought of that? I can see a lot of English everywhere. A lot of new constructions. You know what? They're doing actually pretty well. Yeah, they export a lot of cheap labor, but not sure exactly what exactly those people actually gonna check that after I make the video. Where exactly those Filipinos go? Because it's gonna be interesting to see. Now I have no idea why they don't have that many those 360 on the beach on the short line. That's kind of strange to me because it looks pretty nice there. Except this garbage here. and have no idea what that's supposed to be. Looks like an abandoned project to me, but hey. They doing again much better than I expected. We're probably gonna check some huge city to see exactly how those people doing there, but wow, look at this. On the beach here, pretty nice, pretty nice. Well, judging by how many people are in the economy, it's pretty decent. I'm not sure exactly how they're doing in a tourism industry, but they're doing probably tremendous well in cheap labor one, because look at this. A lot of motorcycles here, a lot of people so cramped and jammed together, which is not a good thing. Again, those here they don't have it, but here they have those bars for whatever reason. Like I say, I assume probably to not jump off. I'm not sure, but it's not that high, so it's not gonna do that much damage if you still jump. So maybe it's just me. I am curious how much you're gonna pay for one of those watermelon, because they look nice and probably they are freshly chopped off from the garden. Again, bananas. Wow, I need to buy some bananas. I see so many banana trees here. I see so many bananas. I have to eat a few now. So probably I'm gonna buy this week a few bananas. Now those cables here, yeah, again, South America. Same vibe, same vibe. Can we blame the Spanish for that and not the Filipinos? You're gonna say, fuck it, we just it is probably something from your period of time, whatever reason. Even if you don't use that many cables back then, it's still something stick with us, and that's why we have those cables. Yeah, here in the big cities, probably the same story is gonna be like those people. They don't have that much. I want to say need, but probably they don't have that less resources as those people outside the big cities, or even the decent small towns. So they kind of take the work inside the country, and those people who living outside and they have not that many opportunities choose to work outside the country, and this is how they end up with much more money than actually those people who decided to stay in a country. So yeah, those people who working outside, clearly they're doing a much better life for themselves when they come back home. I'm not sure exactly how much is gonna be the wage here, but I don't know. I can tell you how much is the wage in my country, which is around after you pay taxes, the minimum wage is gonna be around 500 euros. Roughly that would be like, I don't know, 550 US dollars, around that. So yeah, that's the minimum wage, but everything is most likely much more expensive here than if it maybe, I'm not sure. So yeah, I mean, if the Filipino have the minimum wage bigger than us, or who knows, maybe those countries actually start to play catch up with the West, and they actually have the same wage as us, or very close to that, but they have, like I say, no, maybe much more opportunities. I have no idea. This is a police officer, this is a traffic guys. What is happening here? So a lot of cars here, so clearly in a main city, not the main one, I say, not the capital, but a big city. I want to check, looks like the industrial area or something like that, or you make groceries. I want to check how those people actually live in a more residential one. Maybe it's too residential here, but hey, let's check it. Banana trees. We have banana trees. Clearly they're trying to make something nice here, which I appreciate that, but yeah, it's not working. Here pretty much there's no road, and this is actually an expensive car, not a huge one. This is 2021, so back then maybe actually was an expensive car. They doing again pretty well. I mean, no concrete or tarmac on the road, but at least they have so much green here. When you come back home, you cannot be upset about that. This is 2024. What is amazing is that they keep those street views very recently, very updated, which is Nice, and I appreciate that a lot. Let's check this road in the middle of nowhere. How well is gonna be? Actually, pretty well. Wow, look at this house. So they're gonna update the roof. They're gonna go from the vegetation one to the steel one. That's quite an update. Yeah, road pretty interesting. I kind of like it, especially because if you have one of those scooters just racing them down the street, having fun with your friends. Pretty good, pretty good. You know what? I am actually impressed, I have to say. Probably because I have such a low expectation, especially when I see that GDP per capita, I expecting like, wow, that's gonna be really fucked up. But you know what? Actually, it's pretty nice. Can you imagine if you have like, I don't know, 2 parents working outside the country and then you're gonna follow? I mean, depends where you live. Usually, I do not recommend to come back in a country if you left because the things wasn't that well. But in a country like this, and look at it like Filipino, look at this how beautiful it is and how nice it is. I mean, you're really gonna find that in other countries. And probably, I don't know, the rules are a bit loose here. They have a bit more freedom. So yeah, you can actually build yourself a much better life here. Like I said, the problem here is the huge population, and probably they have a lot of competition on the job market, and maybe that's why they are, let's say, pushed to work outside the country, because clearly the wages is not going to be that high when you have that much competition. I have no idea what this. They looking for the car, for the Google Street View car. See, they saw the car and say, what is happening? What is that? No banana trees here. The road again, I kind of like it. Well, this house not so much. Look at this. I mean, yeah, can you imagine with a house like we saw in the Singapore? Oh my god, it's like a bit amazing, but hey, yeah. I mean, look at this. You have this convenience store here, I would say. It's a small business. You just go outside and say, hey, I want what they're selling here. Let's see. Crackers. What is that? Chips, cola. If they are cheap enough, I mean, I just go to the friends, go with the bike, or go with the scooters and enjoy the life. And then just stop again, go to the sea, to the beach. And maybe you can actually swim to this small island, depends how strong you are, or maybe you get like a boat or something like that. You know what, enjoy the life. You know what, probably like I say, it's gonna be like a much better overall life. But again, for that, you kind of have to work your ass off outside the country 100%. Look at how many small islands they have. And even if those small islands, they still have a ring of road, which is not bad road. Look at this. But again, probably not that many people actually gonna use this road, and that's why they last so much. They don't need that much maintenance. Unfortunately, not that many 360 here on the beach, which is pretty much none. But we have a street view. Yeah, probably the same like I said. We saw some actually pretty nice houses. It's gonna be tough to find every single one of those. Check those islands. That's way too many, but we saw some decent. Clearly we didn't see the capital. If we get lucky to find it, fine. I'm not gonna looking for it because, like I say, not for lease. So yeah, everyone speak English here. Like I said, I didn't know. Towaway zone for what? There's no one here, come on. Which is very good for them. I mean, just gonna integrate so much faster outside, especially if you choose to work in English speaking countries. They doing a lot of them, like I said, not all of them. They doing well. Those are expensive. Again, I have to check those cars when I see them. Those are expensive cars, for God's sake. I mean, even in Europe, I cannot afford a car like that, not even close. And someone here, look at this, from Filipino, with that garbage there, can afford much more than I can afford. So yeah, that's the reality, I guess. So it doesn't matter if you live in a Western world. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be rich, or even the same level with third world countries or second world countries. it is what it is again. But like I say, stay here, have a scooter, have a day to the beach, and then you go, let's say, I don't know, working outside the country for 9 months, 10 months, even 6 months, and then come here, take a break, spend some money, make a nice house. Don't need to buy one of those expensive cars, clearly just pretty much some bragging rights. Doesn't matter where you are, I don't believe in those expensive cars no matter what. So probably like, I don't know, spend not sure exactly how much it's gonna cost a car here, but spend a month with on the month wage on the car, buy another month for a scooter, and buy some tools to actually fix themselves and stuff like that, and then build your house, and you can actually live pretty nice here. Those are clearly from renting some sort of resort here, which is actually pretty nice. Wow, that's actually very nice. So probably they have some very well tourist industry. Yeah, you know what, they doing probably they should do, but again, they kind of did that White Lotus in Thailand. Oh, this is a huge city here. Oh, I want to check this one. So yeah, the next one probably is gonna be like Japan, I guess, or something like that, because we saw Europe, we saw America, North America, US, we saw now Thailand, so probably maybe Australia, who knows, but probably like Japan is gonna be a much better bet, I would say, from the White Lotus TV series. If you don't know what it is, you can check it. It's pretty good, kind of like it. I'm waiting for the next season. Now here, a lot of South American cables. Look at this, how exactly they end up with something like this. I mean, just every single one of those houses that have their independent cable. Look how much waste of cable is this right there, and this is pandemic time, by the way. That's insane. Those are expensive cars. So yeah, they doing actually so you should not be influenced by those GDP numbers. Once again, it's not gonna tell you the whole story, how those people actually live. One of those fucked up nonsense building, I have to call it when I see it, just the way it is. You know me already. They doing, wow, that's a nice church here. If you can check that, would be nice. Let me see if you can see it better. Wow, that's a nice church. Very well maintained, very nice, and expensive cars. They doing very well, I have to say. They doing actually well in Philippines. So yeah, that's why you have to check. That's why I make those videos. When you see those numbers, it doesn't mean much. You have to see exactly how those people actually live, so you can have a better idea. The good news also the good news here is they keep updating their street view. It's 2024, so I don't think I see a country so far that we've maybe got lucky with this one, I don't know, but I never see one with that so much updates on the street view. So very recently, they go there every month, every year, I don't know, but they update them very well. Now this housing here, yeah, it's pretty much fucked up. This guy probably running for election. I'm not sure if he won, no idea. So yeah, there are those people who live in here clearly not so well, and those are meters for electric power, I would say. I never saw something like that on the wall in the street, but hey, it is what it is. And those are from water also. Somebody is gonna be there and read them, but hey. Or maybe they're just gonna use the radio signal to just automatically read them, as we have here in Europe. Not sure, but wow, look at those. It's not too bad, but still, no thank you. Expensive cars, once again, expensive cars. They're doing very well. The expensive car, oh my god, they're doing very well with cars here. I believe the US military still have some presence here, so even that's gonna be some influence. But they doing well. You know what? They doing actually well. I'm not sure how many times I need to say it, but it is not how I expected. I know I call it a fucked up at the beginning, but clearly I was wrong. Look at this. They doing very well. Not all of them, but there is no country on this planet that every single one of those people is gonna do well. But in Philippines, that GDP per capita, it does not matter pretty much. It doesn't exist. It's pretty much, it's a lie, or like I say, like 90% of the economics on the black market on stuff like that. Just there is no other way. Otherwise, look at this, how nice it is. Look at these green mangroves, probably. Again, this drone footage looks pretty nice. Probably this is the capital. Not sure, but it looks like a capital to me. I mean, look at this. A lot of people live here, so yeah, they're doing well. Just the way it is, I guess. They're doing pretty well here. Traveling here, it might not be actually bad. It might not be actually bad at all. You know what? It could actually be a very nice experience. Look at this. Wow, they have even some hills here with a golf track. What? You can play golf here? That's nice. Again, those cables just, oh my god, hate them so much. But like I say, probably they're doing much better than a lot of South American countries. I have to call it just the way it is. I'm sure I'm gonna upset a lot of people, especially from the South America, but they're doing better than you here, at least from what I saw. Wow, those are nice houses actually. Look at this. They are very nice. A bit too jammed together when you have that much space. Again, the way I guess they buy the land, but still, it's wow. Those are, see, a lot of new. This is 2021 again, so quite a while back in the pandemic years. But they doing very well. And look at this. Those are new constructions. Yeah, what the fuck? They don't have a window here to just keep a hole there to the air breathing. I mean, look at this house. Those are expensive ones. It's just like luxury in pretty much any country you go. That even in Europe, that's a luxury house right there. So they're doing very well. Yeah. Well, how much can we say? I guess not that much. So again, the population probably is the main problem, but wow, that's a big window, huge one. And this one, wow, on the corner, they have windows on the corner. Wow, you know what, the glass is too green. I mean, that's one of those less quality one, let's call it like that, but still pretty good. Like I say, they doing very well here, way better than I expected. I have no idea where I can see that. Probably some important house, someone important. Expensive car, expensive new houses. They doing well, good for them. Look at this, they build another one right next to another one. They doing well 100%. Have some bananas here. Yeah. Like I said, probably this is the main city, and that top there on the hills was good. This one, oh, what the fuck is happening here? That's probably one of those fucked up region. You can see. So a lot of people living in those fucked up neighborhoods too, but maybe there will be a chance at some point to pick themselves up when the population will stop growing and actually going down. But that was gonna be like, I don't know, the next century or something like that. I like they have those hills in the back. It's gonna give you like Los Angeles vibe or something like that. So yeah, that's nice. Probably when you go working from US in Los Angeles, they're gonna go back home and say, you know what, we have to buy some land on the hills and build one of those nice houses. It's gonna be much better. I mean, look at this view, for God's sake. Come on. Yeah, the house is pretty much this one looks a bit better, but pretty much non-existent. But the view, yeah, you can beat that. Ooh, they have some pool here, maybe. Looks like a pool to me. Very nice. Hide it. They hide that pool. Yeah, they're doing well. Much better than I expected. Much better than a lot of European countries so far, especially a few people. Or no, maybe actually quite a few people, because 100 million people, if 10% of the population doing well, that'd be like 10 million people doing actually very well here. So that's a very good number. A very good number. So yeah, I think we kind of see everything that I want to see. A beach. That I think we didn't see it. But look at this, how many islands they have here. I mean, they just go and go and go. It feels like they're never gonna end. Like I said, probably it's gonna be a tough one to govern. This is not exactly a beach, but they doing well. You know what? They doing good for them. Yeah, actually good for them. Again, I'm not a big fan of those jumpstart economies with going outside to work to send money back and stuff like that. But here, this seems to do okay. Even if you came back here, like I said, you have actually something nice to came back. It's not like one of those ugly countries or whatever. It actually can enjoy, like it's a permanent vacation at some point. So yeah, they doing nice, especially for such a long history with Spain, which usually is not a good thing. They doing actually well. So clearly some you can see some recent US influence probably has to do with that, and also the country that those people choose to go to work. You're always gonna take back some influence from that country no matter what, just the way it is. And clearly I could say you can see that in the way they build their houses, how nice they are, especially those new ones. Those new constructions looks very nice, I have to say. I didn't see one new construction that looks bad. Yeah, not all are equal 100%, but they still doing pretty good. I mean, look at those ones, pretty nice ones. We have even some fire truck here. It looks like a toy for whatever reason. It looks like very small. But no, it's a regular size fire truck. Yeah, they are doing. Oh, what is that? That's coconuts. Oh, they have coconut trees with coconuts. I don't see them, but they have it clearly. Banana trees, but I don't see the bananas. So yeah, I'm not gonna check now every single tree for bananas, but they're doing well. Yeah, that's all I can say. They seems to do it. That GDP per capita doesn't matter at all. Those people actually doing nice, doing well there. And I appreciate a lot that look at this, so many street views. And even here, let's check this road, from which time it is. Gotta be like at least no longer than 5 years ago, I would say. Okay, 10 years ago. Okay, we got a bad one, but we got pretty tough with this one. I mean, just clearly it's not one of those roads that is gonna be like very used. But yeah, look at this, 2022, and it doesn't look like a good road. I mean, look at this. I'm not sure what they're using to climb here, probably in a car, but and the quality of those 360, kudos for you guys. They're doing a great job here. Great job. It makes everything looks much better, I would say. Even in this part, if you live here, now I am a fan if you live in a pretty much island country like this, which is pretty much I would like to live as close as possible to the sea. Actually, probably a beachfront property, something like that. So yeah, but even here in the middle of the island, because they're all islands, it is still pretty nice, and they have some nice resorts clear. They do well, yeah. So that was the video, I guess. If you live in Philippines, if you watch this video, I am interested to hear your opinion, what you think about what I said, how exactly you make it. And maybe I'm wrong, maybe those people actually don't go outside to work, who knows, but I kind of suspect they do. How actually the life it is there, because from above and from the street viewpoint, from a lot of them, not all of them, looks actually pretty good. So yeah, see you next time.